Onizuka Eikichi is 5 feet 9 inches of pure fucking wee ball energy. Man became a teacher so he could pipe, but yet he ended up becoming the greatest teacher of all time. Yeah, I know that sounded like the plot to an absolutely dog shit anime, but on God, this is one of the greatest things I have ever read. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. Look at these ratings. It is the 22nd highest rated manga of all time on Mal. And I can see why. Because personally, it's either this or Grand Blue that is my #1 favorite manga of all time. Onizuka is an ex-biker gang leader who's struggling to find a job. After another failed interview, he gets caught peeping at some panties by a high schooler, who ends up going home with him. Just as he is about to secure the deal, he fumbles the bag, she goes back to her teacher, who turns out she's dating. Bear with me for a second. I know it sounds weird, but you gotta trust me on this one. That interaction gave Onizuka an idea. If he became a teacher, maybe he too can pipe. And thus our man's teaching career begun. Now this is no ordinary teacher manga. Oh, you're dead wrong if you think that. GTO is a different breed of manga. We're talking over-the-top delinquent students being taught by an ex-delinquent teacher. And Onizuka is up to the challenge. So what do students, Photoshop some blackmail images of him and disperse them around the school? Onizuka will still come out on top. Yeah, the over-the-top humor is what makes this manga hilarious. But what really makes it incredible is not that, it's the story. You've got this ex-delinquent who absolutely hated school growing up and was probably on awful terms with all of his teachers, and now he's out here teaching a class full of all these lost children and genuinely helping them. Oh, and he goes above and beyond to help these kids solve their issues. It touches very nicely on the idea that these troubled children are exactly that. They're troubled children with their own bullshit going on in their life. And a lot of them feel that they got no other way to react than to lash out at adults. But it is those adults' job to look past that and set them back on the correct path. And sometimes the best way to do that isn't some sit down serious conversation. Nah, instead having some whack, perverted, delinquent teacher laugh alongside you through these issues. But let's be honest, the absolute best way to fix your problems is by subscribing to this channel. Did you know that only 5% of my viewers are subscribed? Kinda cringe, man. Almost as cringe as focusing on the serious stuff of this manga. Yeah, let's get back to the funny haha stuff. In a completely unrelated note, look at this man's face. Sure, it is by no means at Grand Blue levels with those Titan faces. Those are pure artwork. Those deserve a spot right next to the Mona Lisa. But these faces are still pretty damn hilarious. Not to mention the man is an absolute maniac. He busted into some girl's house with a sledgehammer, and she rewarded him with her panties and a coochie flash. He is him. Onizuka is him. Where do I go to learn how to become an absolute unit just like this man? Bro, he manhandled a truck, almost buried a student alive. Hell, he even became a terrorist at some point. Onizuka is not human, he is a species of his own. The man is the definition of built different. But yet he does all of that not just because he's a good teacher, but because he's a good person. He's someone who any of his students and teachers can rely on. Gentlemen, take notes. This is the most important aspect of a man. Even Steve Harvey said this. It's doing what you say you're gonna do. Money in your pocket, muscles on your body, all of that can change. But being reliable is part of who you are. It's part of your personality. Now, considering that I've dropped all 3 Pokemon series that I've started, things aren't really looking too good for me. Maybe one day I'll start a series and actually finish it. But the day is not today. Okay, seriously, this manga's peak. But the anime adaptation of it, it's a little bit aged. I tried watching it, but it just felt so slow. The audio sounded like it was recorded on one of those Xbox 360 mics that came with your Xbox. You know the one I'm talking about. If someone pulled up in a game chat with that, that man was gonna get some very interesting words said to him. And the animation is probably the exact opposite of what Ufotable does. Look at like an 07 Android out here. So I can't exactly say that I recommend the anime, but the manga is a different story. The manga is a completely different story. In fact, I cannot recommend it enough. Now, I would admit, I was pretty hesitant to start this manga. I thought it's gonna look so aged. But my brother in Christ, it did not matter. Because this is an absolute classic that I cannot recommend highly enough. All of you, right now, right this second, get the hell off this video and read it. Sure, the scanlations, a little bit ass in quality at times. May or may not be missing chapter like 2 or 3. Slight issue. But if you can look past that, damn, it is fucking incredible. And that's precisely why this is one of my favorite manga of all time. And I doubt that'll be changing anytime soon.
Hello from Sahara Desert. We have heard you are not subscribed to Senpai Supreme. That is very haram. Subscribe now and Allah will gift you 72 kawaii anime women and afterlife. Goodbye.